Everyone knows Muhammad Ali was a very famous boxer, but he was much more than just a boxer, he was a legend. Many people are not aware of his full story and the challenges he faced. At the height of his fame, many people in his own country even disliked him. He bravely fought against unfairness and racism, even when people insulted him or banned him from boxing. This story is not simply about boxing matches. It is about his life, his important friendship with Malcolm X, and a great betrayal that changed things. We will explore a time called segregation, when black people faced very unfair rules and discrimination. We will also learn about two important black leaders of that time, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and their different ideas for change. By the end of this book, you will understand why Muhammad Ali is truly called the greatest and his lasting importance in history. 2. Young Cassius in a hard time. Cassius Clay was born in 1942. The place was Louisville, Kentucky, in America. His family was not rich or famous. His father, Cassius Clay Sr., was a painter. He painted signs and big posters. His mother, Odessa Clay, worked cleaning houses for other people. They lived with Cassius and his younger brother, Rudolph. Louisville was not an easy place for black people at that time. There were rules called segregation. These rules kept black people and white people separate. Cassius lived in a black area of the city. He went to a school only for black children. This was normal in Louisville then. Black people and white people lived very different lives. Because of segregation, Cassius could not go everywhere white people could go. He could not eat in some restaurants. Some shops did not let him try on clothes before buying them. It was unfair. Even churches were sometimes separated. Black people were treated as less important than white people. Young Cassius did not understand why things were like this. He asked his mother, "Why is black always bad?" He noticed that bad things were often called black. Like a black cat was bad luck, or blackmail was a bad thing. He wondered why. Something very sad happened when Cassius was young. A black boy named Emmett Till was murdered. Emmett was only a little older than Cassius. Cassius saw pictures of Emmett in the newspapers. The pictures were very shocking. Emmett was hurt very badly. Cassius felt scared and angry. He could see himself or his brother in Emmett's place. This event made him feel how unfair life was for black people. Segregation made many black people feel they could not have a good life. It made them feel hopeless. But Cassius was different. Even when he was young, Cassius said, "I will be the most famous person in the world." People laughed at him. White people laughed, and even some black people laughed. They did not believe him. When Cassius was 12 years old, something happened that changed his life. Someone stole his bicycle. He was very upset. He wanted to find the thief and fight him. He wanted to learn how to box so he could fight. So he started boxing. From the first time he put on boxing gloves, Cassius was good. He was a natural fighter. Even as a young boy, he started to win boxing matches. He was strong and fast. This was the beginning of his journey. Even in a hard time, Cassius found something he was good at, something that would take him far. 3. Gold medal sad home. When Cassius was 18 years old, he went to the Olympic Games in Rome. It was in 1960. He was there to box for America. People liked Cassius because he was confident. He talked a lot and said he would win. He even said he would be the world champion one day. In Rome, Cassius felt different. For the first time, he felt free. There was no segregation in Rome. He could go to any shop or restaurant he wanted. He could get a haircut anywhere. He felt like everyone else. It was a new feeling for him. He felt like a real person, not just a black person in America. He liked this feeling of freedom very much. Cassius boxed very well at the Olympics. He won every fight. He got to the final and won a gold medal. He was very happy. He stood on the podium and felt proud to be an Olympic champion. People cheered for him. He had made his country proud. But when Cassius came back home to America, things changed. He was back in a country with segregation. He was black again in a country that treated black people unfairly. His gold medal did not change this. One day, Cassius went to a restaurant. He wanted to eat a cheeseburger. He was still wearing his gold medal. He thought maybe now people would treat him better because he was an Olympic champion. But when he went inside, they told him, "We don't serve black people here." Cassius was very angry and sad. He could win a gold medal for his country, but he still could not eat in a restaurant because of his skin color. He felt like his gold medal meant nothing in America. He was so upset that he took off his gold medal and threw it into a river. He wanted to show how angry he was about segregation. He was tired of being treated unfairly in his own country. His feeling against segregation became even stronger after this. He understood that winning a medal did not change how black people were treated at home. 4. Meeting Malcolm X. Around the same time Cassius started boxing, a man named Malcolm Little was in prison. Malcolm had a tough early life. He had problems when he was young and became a criminal. But prison changed Malcolm. In prison, he met a man named John Bembry. John helped Malcolm to learn and read books. Malcolm started to think about his life. He also learned about Islam and became a Muslim. At that time, Islam was not a common religion for black people in America. There was a group called the Nation of Islam, NOI. Elijah Muhammad was the leader of the NOI. This group became popular. The NOI taught black people to be proud of themselves and to rely on themselves. They said black people had their own culture and history to be proud of. After prison, Malcolm Little changed his name to Malcolm X. He took X as his last name because Little was his slave name and he wanted to show his lost African past. Malcolm X became a very good speaker for the NOI. He spoke powerfully about black pride and equality. Many people listened to him. Cassius Clay heard about the Nation of Islam and Malcolm X. He started to meet people from the NOI. He listened to Malcolm X speak. Cassius was very impressed by Malcolm and the ideas of the NOI. He liked what Malcolm said about black people being strong and proud. Cassius and Malcolm became friends. Malcolm was like a teacher to Cassius. He taught Cassius about the NOI and its beliefs. Cassius learned a lot from Malcolm. He respected Malcolm and his strong opinions. Cassius was interested in the Nation of Islam and his friendship with Malcolm, but he kept it a secret. His boxing managers did not want him to be connected to the NOI. They were worried it would be bad for his boxing career. So Cassius had a secret friendship with Malcolm X away from the boxing world. 5. The new champion's name. Cassius Clay was becoming a big name in boxing. People loved to watch him not just for his boxing but also for his words. He talked a lot before his fights. He said he was the greatest. He called himself pretty. He had famous lines that everyone remembered, like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His boxing style was also special. He moved his feet very fast and his punches were quick. He was different from other boxers. In 1964, Cassius Clay had a very important fight. He was fighting Sonny Liston for the world heavyweight title. Sonny Liston was a strong and scary boxer. Most people thought Liston would win easily. They did not think Cassius Clay had a chance, but Cassius was confident. He believed in himself. The fight was in Miami. It was a big event. People around the world watched. And then something surprising happened. Cassius Clay won. He beat Sonny Liston. It was a shock to many people. Cassius Clay was the new world heavyweight champion. After the fight, Cassius Clay had something important to say. He told everyone that he was a member of the Nation of Islam. This was a religious group that was not well known by many people at that time. He also said he had a new name. Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, gave him the name Muhammad Ali. This news made a lot of noise. Many news reporters and newspapers did not want to call him Muhammad Ali. They kept calling him Cassius Clay. They did not respect his new name or his religion. They wanted to disrespect him. For years, many people still called him Cassius Clay, but Muhammad Ali was strong. He wanted people to use his new name. He insisted on it. He showed people that his name was Muhammad Ali. There was another boxer named Ernie Terrell. Before their fight, Terrell kept calling Ali Cassius Clay. Ali got very angry. During their fight, Ali kept asking Terrell, "What's my name? Say my name." He wanted Terrell and everyone to respect his name. The fight went on for many rounds. Ali won and he made his point. His name was Muhammad Ali. At this time, Muhammad Ali was becoming closer to Elijah Muhammad. He looked up to him as a leader. This closeness, however, started to create problems with his friend Malcolm X. Malcolm X was also a member of the Nation of Islam, but he and Elijah Muhammad were starting to disagree. This would become a big issue for Muhammad Ali in the future, but for now, he was focused on being the champion and being Muhammad Ali. 6. Losing a friend. Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad started to disagree. Malcolm X had different ideas from Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam. One time, President Kennedy died, and Malcolm X said something that made people angry. Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm X to be quiet and not talk about it anymore. This made a big problem between them. Because of this disagreement, Malcolm X decided to leave the Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad then told Muhammad Ali that he should not talk to Malcolm X again. This was very hard for Ali. Malcolm X was his friend and teacher, but Elijah Muhammad was his leader in the Nation of Islam. Ali had to choose between them. He chose to stay with Elijah Muhammad. This meant he could not be friends with Malcolm X anymore. Ali and Malcolm X saw each other one last time. It was at an airport in Africa. They were both traveling. Malcolm X tried to talk to Ali, but Ali refused. He said he could not talk to Malcolm because Malcolm had gone against Elijah Muhammad. This was the end of their friendship. It was a sad moment for both of them. After leaving the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X traveled to a holy place called Mecca. This trip changed his ideas about race and people. He saw that not all white people were bad. He started to have different views from the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X also began to tell people some secrets about Elijah Muhammad that were not good. Things became dangerous for Malcolm X. Someone threw bombs at his house. Luckily, his family was not hurt badly. Then one day in February 1965, Malcolm X was speaking to a group of people. Suddenly, men with guns shot him. He died. The men who killed him were from the Nation of Islam. At first, after Malcolm X was killed, Ali stayed loyal to Elijah Muhammad. He said bad things about Malcolm X because that is what Elijah Muhammad wanted. But as time passed, Ali started to feel differently. Many years later, Muhammad Ali said that turning away from Malcolm X was the biggest mistake of his life. He said that he really loved Malcolm X and missed him. Losing Malcolm X was like losing a very important part of himself. It was losing a true friend. 7. Saying no to war. Muhammad Ali was becoming a person that many people had strong feelings about. Some people did not like him because he supported the Nation of Islam. This group said that black people should be separate from white people. Some people thought this was racist. He also supported the Black Panther Party. This was a group that wanted equal rights for black people, and they sometimes used guns to protect themselves. Some people did not agree with these groups. In 1966, something big happened. The United States was fighting a war in Vietnam. The government told Muhammad Ali that he had to join the army and go to Vietnam to fight. Many young men in America had to join the army at this time, but Muhammad Ali said no. He said, "I will not go to Vietnam." He explained his reason clearly. He said, "The people in Vietnam have never done anything bad to me. They have never called me bad names. They have never treated me unfairly because of my skin color." He said his real fight was not in Vietnam. His real fight was against the unfair treatment of black people in America. This was a very brave thing to say, but many people in America were very angry. They thought everyone should support the war. They called Muhammad Ali a traitor. They said he was not loyal to his country. The government was also very unhappy with Ali's decision. They took away his boxing license. This meant he could not box anymore in America. They also took away his heavyweight title. He was no longer the champion of the world. This was a very difficult time for Ali. He was not allowed to box for more than 3 years. These were important years in his boxing career when he was at his best. He also faced the possibility of going to prison because he refused to join the army. At first, many people did not agree with Ali's decision to refuse to fight in the war. It was not a popular thing to do. People were angry and insulted him. But Ali stood strong. He believed he was doing the right thing by saying no to war and fighting for justice at home. He was ready to lose everything for what he believed in. 8. More than a boxer. After Muhammad Ali was banned from boxing, things changed. At first, many people were angry at him for not wanting to fight in the Vietnam War. They took away his boxing title and he could not box for years. But as time passed, more and more people started to think differently about the war. They saw that maybe Ali was right. When Ali was allowed to box again, many people were ready to support him. He came back to boxing and showed everyone he was still the greatest. He fought hard and won back his title. People around the world started to admire him not just for boxing, but for his courage. He had stood up for what he believed in, even when it was hard. Ali became famous everywhere. He was not just a boxer in America anymore. He was a world icon. After some time, Ali changed his religious views again. He moved away from the Nation of Islam. After Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, passed away, Ali followed a more common type of Islam called Sunni Islam. He even went to Mecca, the holy city for Muslims. Later in his life, Muhammad Ali stopped boxing, but he did not stop working. He started to work for peace and for people's rights. He traveled to different countries to help people. He went to Iraq and helped to free American people who were prisoners there. He helped refugees, people who had to leave their homes because of war or problems. Sadly, Ali got sick with Parkinson's disease. This illness made it difficult for him to move and speak. But even with this illness, Ali continued to inspire people. He worked to raise money to help find a cure for Parkinson's. One very special moment was in 1996 at the Olympic Games in Atlanta. Ali, shaking from his illness, bravely lit the Olympic flame. It was a powerful symbol of his strength and spirit. Muhammad Ali's impact is huge. He changed the sport of boxing forever. He was a new kind of boxer, fast and exciting to watch. He made black people feel proud of who they were. He showed everyone that it is important to stand up for what you believe is right, even when it's not easy. People remember Muhammad Ali for more than just being a great boxer. They remember him as a great man. He fought for justice and equality. He showed courage in the ring and outside of it. When we think about Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, we see two different ways to fight for what is right. King believed in peaceful protest. Malcolm X sometimes talked about stronger action. Maybe King's way of peace is better for lasting change. But both King and Malcolm, like Ali, were brave men who fought against unfairness in their own ways.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.